Hi-de ho everyone, my name's Mr.Fruit, and today's video is figuring out what does that mean? Who is Mr.Fruit? Who am I? What exactly does that entail? What makes him tick? Myself tick. It's kind of weird relaying myself in like the third person or second person. It's been a while since I figured out the difference, so I'm just gonna say third person. No, it's a free personality test. So what I'm determined to do is take this test, figure out what it says, because it's undoubtedly 100% scientifically true, and whatever they say about me, I will then have to take that information and lead my life according to what this personality test says I am. I don't even know what the answers can look like. I honestly don't know. This isn't your typical run-of-the-mill, hey, take these 10 questions to figure out which Disney princess you are. I'm Sleeping Beauty, by the way. No, it says it takes less than 12 minutes. We're gonna answer honestly, even if I don't like the answer, and that way you get to learn the most about me, and try not to leave any neutral answers. Don't worry, I'm never neutral. I'm pretty neutral, but that's not important. Because, you know, I like to find the middle ground, you know? I like to play devil's advocate in the middle. I'm a mediator, you know what I'm saying? But no neutrals today. No matter what, we're not picking a neutral. So buckle down. It's time to learn way more about me than you ever wanted to. Let's do this. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Agree, disagree. So I should probably preface this by letting you know something. I wouldn't really say I'm a split personality kind of person, but honestly, I can go either way a lot of the time. It depends on how comfortable I am in the situation. If it's a brand new environment with nobody I know, I'm much more reserved. If there are people there I know, much more open. So when it says I find it hard to introduce myself to other people, depends on the situation. I wouldn't really find it that difficult for me to introduce myself to other people though. We'll put it there. Or wait, no. Oh, that would mean I do find it hard. No, we'll put it right here, because like I said, I can go either way, but this one's leaning towards the disagree. Well, no, we'll put it there. Okay. You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. That's... Oh, whoa, I didn't see you there. No, but that's actually pretty true. Especially in school, back when I zoned out all the time. I like to just kind of wander. So I'm gonna say agree, pretty well agree there. Not all the way. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. Could not be further from the truth. I do try and respond to emails that are important, but the key word is try. Even then, I sometimes struggle. And as far as a clean inbox, no. My girlfriend was like, you should hire me to clean your inbox because it's disgusting. I was like, well, I don't care. It's just that, well, I only click on the ones that look important, and then there's time. I never click unread or delete, so, I mean, it's honestly a mess. So I'm gonna probably go all the way there. Well, I try to do the important emails, so I won't say I fully disagree. It's gonna have to be super polarizing for me to go all the way, I think. You find it easy to stay relaxed and focused, even when there is some pressure. That's actually pretty true. I actually think I handle pretty well under pressure. So I'll put it up here. Again, I wouldn't say I'm 100%. There's always going to be times where, well, I buckle under the pressure, or at least feel some adverse effects from it. You do not usually initiate conversations. Gonna have to go with a hard disagree there. I'm quite the conversationalist, and when around my other friends, who are also pretty reserved usually, I do the talking, which is fine by me, but I initiate a lot of conversations. So, well, again, I guess it depends on what circle I'm in, but I'll say I'm fine. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. That's not true. I'm a very curious person. I'm a curious badger, and because of that, I get into more trouble than I should sometimes, do things I shouldn't. Again, though, I have like a radar, you know? Something like, hey, you know what? Maybe that's too odd. Maybe we shouldn't. Let's chill. Not really. I don't have much of a filter. I'm gonna say disagree there. I do a lot of things out of sheer curiosity. You feel superior to other people. No, I don't. I'd probably put down here. Disagree? Well, I guess depends on who we're comparing myself to. Normally, though, I always try and take a middle stance, like I said, be a mediator, or try and understand other people's perspectives. So my mother made me a very humble person, so I try not to think that I'm more superior. I don't really think I'm more superior to other people. I don't really know who I would think I'm more superior to, but I feel like if I put that, it would put me on some sort of moral high ground that is impossible, because I'm sure at some point I will always feel superior to somebody just because I'm human. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. No. I prefer being adaptable. I like being organized, but it takes a back seat to being adaptable. So I'm going to go hard disagree. You are usually highly motivated and energetic. Okay, I said I wasn't going to go neutral, but this one can be complete opposites. I can be, yeah, let's do this. Like with my videos, I'm my own boss. Nobody's going to tell me what to do, so I got to be self-motivated. But sometimes it doesn't always mean I have energy, it just means I got to do it. I can be pretty lethargic at times, so I said I wasn't going to go neutral, but I'm doing it. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I don't really try and win a whole bunch of debates. I'd like people to try and understand my perspective as much as their perspective. But as far as winning, I'm a people pleaser. I want to make sure no one gets upset. So I would say I agree. You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. I agree, yeah. I don't know why, but it feels like I always have to validate myself in some situations. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure some of you understand that. Not everybody deserves justification, but I would say people I look up to, admire, or peers, something like that, I would justify myself. Not always, but I definitely feel like sometimes I have to, even though I know I shouldn't. It's just, my brain's crazy. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. Actually, I just cleaned my office the other day, so it is looking rather tidy right now. But before that, not so much. Because the thing, too, is like, I can deal with a tidy workspace. It's just if I notice it, like if I pay too much attention, then I'm like, oh. But like, let's say I'm working and some of the rest of my office is like cluttered and stuff. But I just sit here and focus on this and work here. So if I'm not paying attention, it doesn't bother me. And that can be a problem. I can kind of pigeonhole myself. So I would say I can take notice, and I will. But yeah, it can definitely get carried away sometimes. Okay, they said this was going to take a few minutes, but we're going really in-depth into answers, so I'm going to try and make this super fast. You do not mind being at the center of attention. I would agree. I don't always like being the center of attention. I'm a middle child, like textbook-wise, so I'll put that there. I sometimes enjoy it, but most times I'm fine flying under the radar. You consider yourself more practical than creative. Probably disagree. I can be pretty practical, but I'd like to think I'm mainly creative. People can rarely upset you. I would disagree. I can certainly get peeved. I don't always make it known. But no, yeah, I'm a human being. I certainly get upset. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. To a degree, yeah, I would say. Well, I'm sure if I compared it to some people, my travel plans are pretty well thought out. I'd put it up there. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. I disagree. Not completely, but no, I can certainly relate, empathize, that kind of stuff. Your mood can change very quickly. No, not a whole bunch of mood swings on my part. Usually, it would take something drastic to like swing it really far. So your mood can change very quickly. I'd put it down there. If Destiny 2 or something like that gets announced, well, that'll change my mood quickly. Again, big swings, But in a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. I agree. I think you should be respectful. But I do think truth holds more merit. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. Completely disagree. That's practically, I think about that probably way too much. But I'm always concerned about other people, which is a good thing and a bad thing, I think. Your work style is closer to a random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach. Actually, disagree. People might find that interesting. Like, you make these weird YouTube videos, it's all about energy and spikes. Nope. Let me show you. I've got this notebook right here. It's a Destiny notebook. But you'll see here, every Sunday, I plan out the entire week's content, what it's going to look like, what days I'll try and do what videos, or if I have to work ahead, what days those will look like, that kind of stuff, which ones I'm recording with who and what day. Just makes the cycle of work and my whole workflow way easier, at least for me. I know that doesn't work for everybody, but yeah, some people are surprised to hear that. Much more of an organized approach. You are often envious of others. I can certainly be envious at times, but I wouldn't say it dictates much. No, I wouldn't say so. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Yep. You're probably like, well, I wonder where Mr.Fruit's gonna go on this one. Well, the thing too, though, I wish they had more description here, is to me sometimes an interesting video game get-together to me is a social event. Like hanging out with my friends on a video game, especially if they're not close. That's fun to me. And that's like a social event of sorts. I don't know. But yeah, you guys, as you can probably tell, I like my video games. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. Agree, for the most part. I still like being a little adaptable, having some free time or, something to finagle around, but you rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Disagree. I wouldn't completely disagree because my head's not always in the clouds, but no, I really like to get taken away by stuff. If this wasn't a thing, I wouldn't be here on YouTube, but I was completely taken and carried away by my idea to do YouTube. So that worked out pretty well. You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature. Oh, 100%. I think it's the only way to go. I mean, either you're paying attention to the nature or, you just kind of let your mind wander. If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. Disagree. Not 100%, but usually I know people are busy. I know how slow I can be to respond, and it's nothing that they said. So, as a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Ooh, that's tough. I want a kind child. I hope they're smart for their sake, for their future. But I also feel like, as a parent, you would rather... I'd agree. I'm kind of middle ground there. It's hard to say, but I'd say a little more kind than smart. You do not let other people influence your actions. 100% agree. I've been known to not budge on many things. Peer pressure doesn't really exist with me. That's never affected me. And on top of that, I like to take in a whole bunch of opinions at once. I like to take outside information and other people's opinions and stuff before I usually formulate decisions on certain things. So while I can make spur-of-the-moment decisions or anything, rash decisions, I usually don't let other people influence my actions. So I guess when I said I like to take in other people's opinions, that's just merely more information for me to make an educated decision on. Does that make sense? Not so much that I'm talking more like peer pressure. Your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. Disagree. Slightly. I think my dreams would be focused more on what's realistic, but also at the same time, I think that's what's fun about dreams. They can be a little unrealistic. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. I don't have a new workplace. I guess that wouldn't... Social activities like doing YouTube. See, I guess that's like collaborating, but sometimes you're so busy or you don't talk to people. I guess it wouldn't be that hard. I want to go middle ground, but I'm trying not to go neutral. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Agree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Relatively agree. I can try and keep them in check or be like, why am I feeling like this? How is this going to impact me? Let's figure it out. Let's go from here. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or role-play activities. I do D&D, so I guess that's role-play. As far as dress-up, I always wanted, when I was younger, I always wanted the job where I had to wear a suit every day just so I would look fly. So, I'd certainly like to get dressed up. I don't have a whole bunch of fancy stuff. I don't go shopping very often. Haven't bought pants in like 3 years. Don't tell anyone. I also have one pair of shoes for the past 3 years. Just how I work. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. I would agree. I feel like that's more about the whole mind wandering, dreaming, that kind of stuff. You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. Ooh, when it comes to work, though, I showed that schedule. I feel like I'm conflicting on some of things, but it's hard to say. I'll disagree slightly. You are a relatively reserved and quiet person. Yeah, 12 minutes, my anus. We're 60% through. You're a relatively reserved and quiet person. Much to some people's surprise, like I said, it depends on who I'm with and the social situation. But I can be either really introverted or really extroverted. It goes either way. But I think I would tend to more likely than not be a reserved and quiet person, which to you is like, what? Mr. Fruit reserved and quiet? Good one. No, but I certainly can be. I like to take life in the slow lane. You know what I'm saying? If you had a business, hey, I do. You would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. Ooh, shoot. Okay, well, I don't have employees, but I would struggle with that. Like I said, I'm a people pleaser. It'd be hard to give him such bad news. I'd have to, but you often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Not really. No, I kind of just accept it. I'll just throw that in the middle. It's not really a thought I have much of the time. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. I agree. I'm tempted to go all the way agree. Logic is definitely something I use in most of my decisions. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. I would agree, although that never really seems to happen with me, which is why I'm not going very far. I usually have a to-do list and a lot of stuff to do, which doesn't leave me very open, but I like to be open. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. Disagree. As a dude, that's just how my brain works. Somebody comes to me with a problem, or they talk about something, immediately my brain's like, okay, well, how can we fix this? Which I've learned isn't always the best way to approach things. It's just that my brain's gonna be, that's the first thing it's gonna go to. Now, whether or not I'll tell them that, you know, I've learned a lot better to just listen sometimes and be there for somebody. But yeah, I've noticed, especially a lot of guys' minds, it's just like, how to fix the problem, I'm a fixer. You rarely feel insecure. I would slightly agree. I feel like there's always things to feel insecure about. Yeah, I think we all have our skeletons in the closet or something. I don't know. Always something that's in the back of your mind telling you stuff, you know? Doesn't mean you always have to listen to it, but I think the feeling of insecurity can be there. Whether or not you let it take over is a different thing. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. Mildly agree. That's how I juggle my videos, but sometimes things can take a little bit longer than usual. But I think I deal with that well because I'm able to adapt, and like if something's thrown off by an hour, it doesn't like throw me out of sorts. I'm not like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, okay, all right, cool, we can still do this. Let's go, baby. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. I would disagree because unless you have another person just like yourself, they may not take the right as being sensible, and then the cooperation and the teamwork's gonna come to a halt. So I'll disagree slightly. Actually, pretty well. I feel like you gotta come to common ground, middle ground with the other person. Hopefully they share the same views. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. Whew, that's a tough one. I do think everybody's views and opinions should be heard and listened to. I'd prefer if they had facts, but I'll go here. I wouldn't go all the way agree because, you know, if there's some backing, that usually helps. But yeah, I'm not one to judge. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Completely disagree. You frequently, that's what I was saying, I'm introverted in that way that going out and doing social things drains me. And it's odd because like going out with friends is draining, but coming back and then playing online, like some games with them online separately, that doesn't drain me. It's weird, but that's just how I work. It's how I grew up. You frequently misplace your things. Yeah, I pretty strongly disagree. As long as nobody moved it, I can pretty well remember where it was. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Nah, I wouldn't really say so. Put it down there, maybe. But I think, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's not that I get big mood swings or something, but, well, now that, I don't actually know. We'll just put it there. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. When I was younger, most certainly so. Nowadays, I can actually make some of those come to fruition, which is fun. But yeah, I'll put a slight agree. You would not call yourself a dreamer. Disagree. I'm a dreamer. Put it right there. Yeah. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. Agree. Unless it's you guys, I feel so relaxed right now. I feel like I'm at home, chilling, sipping a virgin pina colada because it's so much more delicious than normal pina coladas. I tell you what, just sugary deliciousness. Love you guys. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. No. I guess also because I'm so young, I don't have as much experience, so I kind of roll with the punches. You worry too much about what other people think. I think that can definitely be a problem at times, especially since I'm in the public eye so much. Even though I don't always listen to what everyone has to say, the haters, there's always that thought about something, like right now, like, is my face too red in the color correction? Will people make comments about that? Probably. What about my hair or my neck beard or something? Stuff like that, you know? But at the end of the day, I don't lose any sleep over it. It's just like mild thoughts that appear to me from time to time. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. I don't really say I make a conscious choice to do so. I would disagree slightly. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is no... Oh, yeah. In school, that was my name of the game, baby. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Disagree slightly. In high stressful situations, like the penultimate stressful situations, I think everybody feels anxious. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Yeah, I think it is rewarding to know that the people you surround yourself with like yourself. I'd put it up there. You've always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things. Example, in books, art, or movies. I love art or movies, so I guess so. You often take initiative in social situations. Again, depends on the social situation. I will lean a little bit more to the agree. Now let's find out who is Mr. Fruit. So ominous. What? Your personality type is campaigner, ENFP-A. Mine, this trait determines how we interact with our environment. I'm more extroverted than introverted. Interesting. Energy. The trait shows where we direct our mental energy. I'm more intuitive than observant. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. I apparently make decisions and cope with emotions more with feeling than thinking. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. And apparently I'm more about prospecting than judging. That's true. Identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. I'm more assertive than turbulent. I think I took this one a while ago, and I got way more introverted. Maybe I answered some of these wrong. But the fact, I don't believe it because they say I'm more extroverted than introverted, which I know I know myself well enough to know that's not true. So I must have messed something up, because I'm definitely more introverted than extroverted. But again, it depends on the situation. If I'm comfortable with friends, then I'm like, oppa, you know? I feed off that. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just right in the middle. It does say 56% to 44%. The campaigner personality is a true free spirit. They are often the life of the party, but unlike types in the explorer role group, campaigners are less interested in the sheer excitement and pleasure of the moment than they are enjoying the social and emotional connections they make with others. That's pretty true. Charming, independent, energetic, and compassionate. Ugh. Stop it. The 7% of the population that they comprise can certainly be felt in any crowd. I am the 7%. I am the 7%. You can change the world with just an idea. Don't lose that little spark of madness. Campaigners you may know. Well, would you look at that? I'm practically Robert Downey Jr. I'm Iron Man, baby. I'm like Will Smith, Robin Williams, Drew Barrymore. Sick. Apparently, I thrive in being curious, observant, energetic, and enthusiastic. Excellent communicators, know how to relax, very popular, and friendly. However, I lack in practical skills. I find it difficult to focus. I overthink things, get stressed easily. See, highly emotional, See, this doesn't sound like me at all. Find it difficult to focus. I can focus pretty easily. In fact, I can hyper focus really easily. That's the thing, is like I was mentioning about like my workspace. It's the same place. When I get working on something, I'm zoned in. Like that is the only thing I look at. I'm not great at multitasking, but I'm really good at focusing in on one thing. So that's not true. I hardly ever overthink things. I do not get stressed. I'm probably one of the least amount of stressed people you'll meet. I still get stressed because a lot of things, but like it takes a lot to get me stressed out. In a stressful situation, usually I'm just cool as a cucumber. I can manage it. Highly emotional. I would argue no, I'm not big mood swings or anything, so, and independent to a fault. Okay, that one's true. That one's kind of true. Well, here's the conclusion to my personality, apparently. Few personality types are as creative and charismatic as campaigners. Known for their idealism and enthusiasm, campaigners are good at dealing with unexpected challenges and brightening the lives of those around them. I mean, I'm flattered. I strive to do that. I don't know if I do. I'd have to ask the people around me. Hey, do I brighten up your life? Yeah, dude. Oh, cool. Great. I guess I'm doing it. Yeah. Campaigners' imagination is invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. Yet campaigners can be easily tripped up in areas where idealism and kindness are more of a liability than an asset, whether it is finding or keeping a partner, staying calm under pressure, reaching dazzling heights in the career ladder, or making difficult decisions. Campaigners need to put in a conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. Interesting. So I think, like with any result you probably get, I agree with some things and I disagree with some things. Wow, that was probably more than you ever bargained to know about me. We actually went pretty in depth on some things. I feel like we've really gotten to know each other. So I'll have a link down to this below. If you guys want to take it yourself and then reply down below with what you guys got, I'd be interested to see what all of you got. Put down, I guess, the this little number code thing. And then your whatever personality it says, and then see what other people got. See what other people, if there's other people like yourselves, maybe some of you are campaigners as well, and let me know how true it was to what you guys got. Like, would you agree that yeah, they got me pretty well, or like, no, it was pretty off base? Because like I said, I doubt it'll ever be 100% true. There are some right things, some wrong things, but yeah, a bit of a different video. But hopefully you guys got to know me a little bit more. And you enjoyed that. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Regardless, though, thank you very much for watching all my videos and letting me do what I do as a campaigner, and just appreciating who I am as a person. We're all different snowflakes, and I know I appreciate all of you. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I'll talk to you in the next one. Farewell.